Yeah, here we go. It is Friday, people. Welcome into another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by, as our list of sponsors continue to grow here, and that means only one thing. That means they like us. They really, really like us. It also means that we could not be happier to represent not only these fine folks here that want to be a part of the show, but also represent simply the best in the sports handicapping business. You will find only the best hangout here. We're not going to bring you anybody who just joined Twitter or Facebook or Instagram a month ago and claims that they are the greatest sports handicappers that ever lived. You will not find those people here. You will only find the vetted, the best, the most professional handicappers on the Joe Raineri Show, and we appreciate your support as always. We're going to get to the lunatics, as you can see here, that are already lining up in the chat rooms today, but we do want to recognize, of course, our friends at Miami Acura. That is the number how to reach us here on the show, 855-983-2255. Our friends at uwager.eu. If you are going to open up an account, and you are going to start placing some bets because you live outside of one of the states that is actually smart enough to realize that, yes, sports gambling is, it's here. It's not going anywhere, so we should probably legalize it. Not like here in Florida. If you happen to live in Florida or any of the other states where their head is just so far up their ass they actually can't see straight, then you guys need to head over to uwager.eu, okay? In the comment section, you guys will have links that you can open up your account. 50% bonuses available to you there. Make sure you do that. Also want to thank Thrive Fantasy. We had an amazing show with Thrive last night. We did a live stream getting you guys all caught up with what Thrive Fantasy is. It's a child, suppose prop betting joins daily fantasy, you get yourself Thrive. It's really cool. You're going to hear an awful lot about them moving forward here on the show, on the program. We want to thank them for being a part of it. Our friends at Wager Talk, and of course, our friends yesterday, our newest folks, right? TrendyBets.com. Let me tell you something. TrendyBets.com. They have a feature on the show. They have a play of the day, a TrendyBets.com play of the day. Each and every day, you're going to be able to get one on the show. They nailed yesterday's Trendy Bets play of the day. They called it. They took Houston and the under in their game last night as Houston waxed the floor with the Golden State Warriors. But you know what? It was so bad. It was such a blowout that Golden State ended up putting in people in like section 322 to start playing pretty much halfway through the third and most of the fourth quarters in that game. So they clearly, it was an easy win under 220 last night, and Trendy Bets nailed it. So do yourself a favor. Get ready. We're going to give you another edition of the Trendy Bets Play of the Day coming up a little bit later here in the hour. But do yourself a favor and make sure you head over and check these guys out. TrendyBets.com. Awesome dudes, and already 1-0 here on the show, and we love to hear that. And, of course, Miami Acura, we told you there is the number, 855-983-2255. Now let's say hello to the lunatics to my other side. Here we go. They are here. Who do we got joining us already? He's still in the house. We got Count Dracula on Twitch joining us. He's still's having one of those kind of whatever that is with a K and a whole bunch of consonants after that. And they keep saying I got to get to Wawa and order one of these drinks, and I will do that. As we go down the list, we've got Carla joining us. Villa Man's in the house. Kelly is here. Mike, Pizza Mike joining us. Billionaire Goals, all you guys. It is a pleasure to have you on board today. And let me tell you something. Couldn't have picked a better day to join us here on this Friday because we are going to be in the midst of greatness. And when I say greatness, this is exactly the kind of individual that I am talking about, which exemplifies what this show is all about. We don't bring you shit on this show. We only bring you the best of the best. And when it comes to sports handicapping, there's a small group of individuals that are responsible for paving the way, pioneers, if you will, in the industry of sports handicapping services. And our guest today is just that. He is the leading pioneer of sports handicapping services. There wouldn't be any today if it wasn't for Marc Lawrence. He's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. The best handicappers certainly do hang out here, and I'm looking so forward to talking to Marc because he is truly one of the pros, one of the pros, one of the guys that started it all. Playbook.com is where you can check him out. I highly encourage you guys to head over there. That's playbook.com. But we've got college football tonight. We've got NFL on the weekend. We want to talk to him, pick his brains about some of the upcoming games, and we are certainly going to have an opportunity to do that. We are pumped. We are excited to have him on the show here today. We really are. I think it's so cool. Also, Benny the Boot. That's right, Benny the Boot, our resident simulcast handicapper, horse handicapper. He, too, last week came on the show, and what did he do? Well, he delivered his Saturday play of the day. And guess what? He won. He's also the same horse handicapper that ended up giving you Guinevere in the Breeders' Cup, which caused all sorts of you to win an awful lot of money you probably wouldn't have won because you weren't even looking at Guinevere to finish second, much less in the money. But Benny the Boot was the one who gave it to you. He's going to join us also with his horse play of the day for Saturday tomorrow. He's got a winner. He wants you to know about it. It's actually a pretty good price from what I understand, too. So we're going to talk to him. We're loaded today when I tell you loaded. But I do want to start first and foremost with just a quick comment, if I may. All right. And I want to talk a little bit about Mike McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers. And I sound so somber because it's like somebody died. And somebody did die. The Green Bay Packers season, along with Aaron Rodgers' career, pretty much went up in flames last night, once again, with Mike McCarthy being the biggest pussy of all pussies when it comes to NFL coaches. Now, I can understand if you've got a backup quarterback in the game, Aaron Rodgers is hurt, and there's 4 minutes and change left on the clock, and you're at 4th and 2, and you know what? You'd rather rely on your defense to try and get a stop and then get the ball back and see what you guys can do. I get it. I understand that might be the play that you make. But in the year 2018, in this NFL, with the greatest quarterback a generation has seen ever, and Aaron Rodgers is one of the best, when you have the opportunity to keep the ball in his hands with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left, 4th and 2, to ask him from your own 30 to go out and go ahead and get 2 yards down by 3 and keep the drive going and keep your defense, who, by the way, was gassed at that particular point in the game, trailing by 3. You only had 1 timeout left, and instead of keeping the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, expecting him to get 2 yards, you decided to punt. And in that decision, you punted away the rest of your time with the Green Bay Packers. Because as far as I'm concerned, you pretty much, that was the nail that in the coffin that ended the Mike McCarthy era in Green Bay. And unfortunately, it's probably about 4 or 5 years too late. But the fact that he decided to gamble on his defense as opposed to Aaron Rodgers is something I will never – I do understand. And it ultimately comes down to this. This is a guy that is never, ever, ever going to cross the street unless it's at a intersection. And, you know, he wants to make sure he doesn't jaywalk. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't take any chances in his life. He's probably Johnny Missionary. I mean, this guy has got to be as boring as they come, okay? And when you are that kind of person, when you have that kind of personality – and you are faced with life decisions, and in this particular case, you had the decision of either betting on a defense who had not stopped in the second half, in the fourth quarter, had not stopped Russell Wilson or that offense or that running game of the Seattle Seahawks, hadn't stopped them all night practically. You lost 2 of your starters, I believe 2 of your linemen, Mike Daniels, Kenny Clark. Both those guys left the game with an injury. And you opted to take the safe route and say, hey, defense, go get a stop and let's play the field position game, and hopefully we'll get Aaron Rodgers the ball back. When you say any part of an equation that says, let's hope we get the ball back into Aaron Rodgers' hands, when you actually have the damn ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, there is only one decision to make, Mike McCarthy, okay? You keep the damn ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. If you don't make it, your defense has still got to make a stop. It is what it is. But the best player on that field last night had the ball with 4:11 left, only needed to get 2 yards. And judging from the history of Aaron Rodgers, we know there was a good chance he probably could have sustained that drive and kept it going. But you opted to be Johnny Missionary, okay? Johnny Wallpaper. Watching Mike McCarthy coach is like watching fucking paint dry, okay? If you are a Green Bay Packers fan, I don't know how you guys have dealt with it for as long as you have dealt with it. And I will say this, judging from the response on Twitter last night and today, it takes a lot to push Green Bay Packer fans over the edge where they turn on you. Green Bay Packer fans don't turn on just anybody. It takes a lot to push the buttons of a Green Bay Packers fan. These are Midwest folks. These are good, God-loving, God-fearing. These people have been born, raised, lived in the same house. My grandfather's grandfather's grandfather milked that cow. I mean, these are folks that don't spend an awful lot of fucking time outside of Green Bay. So if you are part of that community, you are part of that family. And they will fight and stick up for you tooth and nail. They will never turn on you. Once a Packer, always a Packer. Until last night when Mike McCarthy decided to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands and let his defense, who was decimated already and was getting just trucked all over the place. Yeah, once he made that decision, Green Bay Packer fans are no longer interested in talking about any sort of more coaching decisions by Mike McCarthy. There's no way Mike McCarthy can be the coach of this team moving forward. He'll finish out the year. Now, the good thing about Green Bay is I do think they still have to play the Vikings, and I think they still Chicago, right? They still have the teams in front of them. They still have them on the schedule. But at 4-5-1, I don't know what to tell you. Mike McCarthy, you've got to go. You cannot coach like it's 1978 in the year 2018. What do you guys think Doug Peterson would have done of the Philadelphia Eagles with that situation? What do you guys think, what do you think Sean McVay would have done in this situation? How about Andy Reid? What do you guys think Andy Reid would have done? How about even let's go with a new coach, Frank Wright of the Indianapolis Colts. If Frank Wright was given the same situation with Andrew Luck in that point in the game, right at that situation, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left, do you think Frank Wright, who's only been coaching a head coach a year, do you think he takes the ball out of Andrew Luck's hands to get two yards? Anybody? No, he doesn't. But you know who does? Johnny Missionary. Johnny Paint Dry. That is correct. Johnny Safe. And in 2018, you can't be safe in the NFL. Not in this league, not in this game, not anymore, not when we're averaging. We've got a game this weekend. The damn over-under is almost 65, for Christ's sakes, okay? And you're hoping the defense is going to make a stop 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go. It was the most asinine thing I've ever said. And let me also preface it by saying this. I had the Seattle Seahawks in that game. So it's not as if I wasn't rooting for him to be a complete putz, which he turned out to be. I was jumping up and down when they decided to punt the ball there because I knew the game was over due to the fact you lost your two starting defensive linemen. And by the way, they were running all over you in the fourth quarter. There was no way you were going to make a stop. And, oh, yeah, the history told us that, guess who? Yeah, Russell Wilson, at that particular moment, prime time in that situation, Russell Wilson is a beast. There was no way the minute you opted to punt that you were ever going to get the ball back, and congratulations, you didn't get the ball back. You screwed the pooch, and in essence, you also ended your time in Green Bay. And I had money line, and I was also, I think I had gotten in at 2.5 points. So I was rooting for Seattle. But at the same time, I'm just looking at this going, I feel terrible for the Green Bay Packer fans. I feel terrible for the people who backed Green Bay and might have taken the money line on that game plus 145 as well, because they could have had a chance, should have had a chance to be able to win that game. This is the worst run organization from the standpoint that you have gone 20 some odd years with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and your ass has got 2 Super Bowls to show for it. Are you kidding me? I mean, what else do you need to know besides that? Between Mike Holmgren and Mike McCarthy, you and Ted Thompson in the front office, you guys have done an amazing job of being cheap sons of bitches and absolutely not giving what the 2 best quarterbacks in the last 50 years have needed, which is some solid weapons and a competent damn defense to be able to bring home the hardware. There should be 6, no shit, between Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. There should be somewhere in the vicinity of, and I'm just going to throw this out there should be somewhere in the vicinity of 6 to 8 championship trophies in that damn mailbox, in that stadium, without a doubt. And the fact that you don't have it just goes to show you how piss poor that organization has been run, and it goes to show you how terrible the front office, from Ted Thompson down to Mike McCarthy to Mike Holmgren, that you people have not been able to give the weapons necessary to those 2 quarterbacks. Think about that. 20 years of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and your ass has got 2 Super Bowls. There's just no excuse for it whatsoever. So kind of drives me absolutely crazy. That is the topic of conversation here today. Want to get your thoughts on that. So hit us up here, 855-983-2255. That's 855-983-2255. I mean, you guys tell me, am I wrong? You guys in the chat room over here still looking for that Wawa drink, you crazy bastard. Look at the pearl. Look at the brown pearl. Is it the brown pearl in it? Yeah, Brown Pearl joining us via the YouTube chat room there. Am I crazy here, guys, though? Honestly, you're talking, think about all that time with those 2 quarterbacks, and the best you can do was 2 Super Bowl championships. It's unbelievable the disservice that organization has done to Aaron Rodgers and to mostly Brett Favre in that second half of his career. 855-983-2255. That is the phone number here. I'm telling you, man, it was driving me crazy watching that game last night. I felt terrible for the Green Bay Packer fans and the people holding those tickets, because they should have won that game. And I have no doubt that Aaron Rodgers would have taken that, gotten those 2 yards, and did what Aaron Rodgers has done his entire damn career, and that's go ahead at the end of the game and win it when given the opportunity. It seems that everybody else in the NFL, everybody else who's ever watched the NFL knows that Aaron Rodgers in that position is capable of winning the game, except Mike McCarthy. All right? That's the only person, it seems, to believe that the defense was better off in that position, counting on the defense, than Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely ridiculous. Want to say hello to who we got in here. We got Shelly joining us. Kelly joining us over on Periscope. Good to see you, darling. And again, the one true Brown Pearl is joining us and stealing corporate time along with Dracula. Good to see you guys. You've got a treat coming your way, guys. I'm telling you, the man behind the man, the legend himself, the one and only, Mr. Marc Lawrence, is going to join us here in just a minute. We're going to talk about the college game tonight. We're also going to talk about some of the more high-profile games tomorrow in college, and then, of course, the slate of games on Sunday. This is where you go get that number 2, that number 2 pencil. Get the number 2 pencil, sharpen that shit up, and get ready. Marc Lawrence is going to be bringing the fire. Christian Wynn joining us via Periscope. Good to see you, Christian. Thank you very much for stopping in and hanging out with us, brother. Welcome to the Joe Raineri Show. Welcome to the family. If you guys, we ask you each and every show, you guys know this. We broadcast every Monday through Friday here beginning at 4 o'clock. Could you spread the word? Could you help a brother out here, man? Maybe go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for you lunatics there on YouTube, Facebook. Like our page, Twitch. Go ahead and follow us and support us. We would certainly appreciate the love. And tell the creepy people in the office next to you, people you don't like either. Just tell them, hey, really cool show, really cool page. Why don't you go follow it? Nobody really likes them anyway, but I'll pretend to like them. So if you guys would do that for me, I would much appreciate it. But first, I got to go ahead before we get to Marc Lawrence. I got to tell you about our good friends over at Miami Acura. That's right, Miami Acura. Mr. Acura. Why do I got to tell you about them? Well, because they're sponsoring this show, number one. But number two, they have deals on cars right now like we have never seen. We're talking about the all-new 2019 RDX, completely redesigned. And you know what? They have them at prices that we have never, ever, ever seen before. And you know why? It's the end of the year, and they want to push cars. So they're making it almost impossible to say no. All you have to do is go take it for a test drive. And if you're not in the market for a new car, if it's a certified pre-owned car, nobody, when I tell you, is running better deals right now than Miami Acura. All you have to do, if you're in the 305 and you realize who Pitbull is and you understand it's not a dog, then head over to South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay, okay? Stop by, see Deborah and company at Miami Acura. If you're outside of the 305 and you really have no idea what the hell I'm talking about with Pitbull, then go to MiamiAcura.com, set yourself up an appointment, check out the deals online, or call them at 855-564-4669. That's 564-4669. Coming up here at the top of next hour, don't forget, we're going to have your TrendyBets.com play of the day. Don't forget, they nailed it last night. They got another NBA play you are not going to want to miss. Also, Benny the Boot, Palm Beach Kennel Club. He is the simulcast champion. He's going to join us with your Saturday horseplay of the day. So sharpen that number 2 pencil and get ready. But first, he is a legend, folks. We are talking legendary from Playbook.com, the man who started the very first, or one of the very first, sports services, sportsbook services. It is the legend, Marc Lawrence. All right, Marc, let me start first and foremost. When Herm Edwards first came out in Arizona State and he replaced Todd Graham, I'll never forget the amount of people that came out and just scratched their head and said, this is never going to work. He hasn't coached in 10 years. There are some guys, Marc, that you're willing to run through a brick wall for. Herm Edwards has always been one of those guys. How surprised are you at what Arizona State has been able to do thus far, what Herm Edwards has been able to do, and more importantly, do they have a shot at taking down Oregon this weekend?
You know, I have to admit, I'm one of the guys that's scratching my head. I did at the hire. I wonder what they were doing, my goodness. But, you know, the bottom line is there's a thing called respect, and these players really respect Herm Edwards. That, like you say, they would run through a brick wall for the man, and it's showing in their play this season. All you need to do, Joe, is look at their statistics and what they do. Defensively, this football team has improved over last year, 64 yards a game defensively, which means the kids they're playing, they're busting. And so this is not a fluke. What we're seeing here, they're getting what they're deserving, and they're playing some really good football. Do I feel they can beat Oregon this Saturday? Absolutely. If you take a look at Oregon, it's a football team that has a lot of name and reputation. I know Mario Cristobal inherited this football program here, but I honestly think he's a little bit over his head personally. And if you take a look at what they're doing right now, they have been out-yarded their last 4 straight football games in a row has Oregon. They're beginning to leak what I call leak oil. They're leaking oil right now at the wrong time of the season. So you have 2 teams going opposite directions. Oregon playing a little bit down right now. Arizona State playing some pretty good football. I think it has all the makings for an upset in the football game.
Wow, Marc Lawrence, Playbook.com. I'm rooting for Herm, man. You know, some guys are just born leaders and born coaches, so I'm rooting for the guy, and I bet you those kids, like you said, love to play for somebody like Herm Edwards. But listen, the Pac-12 is far from over yet. We know what Washington State has been able to do, but how about Utah and Arizona? Utah's got a huge game against Colorado. Talk about Oregon going the other way. What the hell has happened to Colorado here?
Well, Colorado, I think, was never really all that good of a team, Joe. If you take a look at their body of work thus far this football season here, they caught everybody by surprise early on out of the gate. They won their first 5 straight games in a row, but they had the benefit of a real cush schedule, if you will. The only good team they played in their first 5 games happened to have been Arizona State. Since then, reality has settled in for the Colorado Buffaloes. 5 straight losses. They've been out-yarded in 4 of those football games. I think we're seeing the real Colorado here right now. This is a Utah football team that I think is for real inside the conference as well. I know they stubbed their toe a little bit here 2 games ago against Arizona State. They bounced back good against Oregon last week in the football game. Again, I think 2 teams going in opposite ways here. I can only look at Utah in this game.
Yeah, Marc Lawrence joining us, Playbook.com via the Miami Acura hotline. And Mark, tonight, Boise State. This is a perfect example of the Joes versus the pros. You've got the public loading up, okay, at 20, I believe 21, last I checked, is what Boise State is laying. Loading up on Boise State, but I do believe there is some sharp money coming in on New Mexico. What do you think about this game?
Well, I think the sharp money, what they see here, Joe, is this, you find Boise State just pulled a small upset at home against Fresno, put themselves into position to be a Mountain West Conference playoff team if they continue to win out. What they've got next week, though, is Utah State. That'll be their biggest game of the season. That will decide who wins the Mountain West Mountain Division. So a little bit of a letdown, a lot of a look ahead here for Boise State. So the question is, what can New Mexico do about it? This is a New Mexico football team that I think is, in the last year under Bob Davie, I think he's history. It's all but written that he'll be gone next football season here. So the question is, can you motivate a football team with a lame duck coach?
Yeah.
It makes it for a real difficult handicap here. I'm not the kind of guy that goes out and lays 20 points on the road in any game. Even if I knew the final score, I wouldn't do that. So the bottom line here is the handicap. Is it against Boise State for the letdown look ahead? My answer to that would be yes, it probably is.
Another, and one of the head scratchers here in South Florida, Mark, and you know that basically in Florida, is what to make of this UCF team. 22 straight victories, and then you look at strength of schedule. And then you go back to 22 straight victories, and then you go strength of schedule. And here they are, maybe the toughest opponent they've facing this year, Cincinnati. They're laying 7. This is a Saturday night game. What do you think about this UCF team? Are they for real, or is it just so hard to tell because of that strength of schedule?
Well, they're so real to the point, Joe, where it's going to be game day broadcasting from Orlando at Central Florida on Saturday. It's a big event for Central Florida to have game day there for this football game. They'll be all pumped up. There's no question about that. But this will also be their most difficult opponent they've played thus far this football season here. Cincinnati is for real. This is a football team that has only been out-yarded 1 football game all season long, Cincinnati Bearcats, and that one was only a little 2-yard loss to UCLA in their season opener. This team is playing as good as anybody defensively, Cincinnati is. I like the Bearcats in this game. I think the pressure, we call it as the noose tightens, and it gets tighter and tighter for these undefeated football teams. I think the pressure's all on Central Florida in this game.
Yeah, we keep hearing from them. The UCF fans just keep going. They do the whole Rodney Dangerfield thing, Mark. We don't get any respect. Well, I think this game will go a long way in maybe having people go, well, maybe they have what it takes to be able to compete with the Big Five, so to speak. Marc Lawrence joining us, Playbook.com. Another head-scratching game. You want to talk about 2 teams getting ready to do battle. How about Iowa State versus Texas? And you've got Iowa State getting 3 points in this game. I don't know what to make of Texas, Mark. I mean, I love Tom Herman. I love the direction he's got Texas going finally. But, man, how do you sleep on Iowa State? How do you lay 3 in that game?
I don't think you do lay 3 in this game here. I think the wrong team may be favored here in this game, Joe. You take a look. Texas is really beginning to unravel and crack, if you will. They've lost not only 2 of their last 3 games, but they've been out-yarded 3 straight games in a row. They're beginning to show the signs of the pressure here. Iowa State, the best defensive team in the conference. Their head coach, terrific head coach, if you will, and Matt Campbell here. I like defensive dogs in football games like this, and this is the role that Tom Herman is at his worst at. That's laying points. He's terrific as an underdog, 12-1 to the spread in his career, taking points, but in conference games, laying points, he's only 6-15 to the spread. So I'm going to look at Iowa State in this football game here. It's a big game for the Cyclones, and I think they can come up shooting in the game. I like them to win the football game and trip up Texas.
Oh, and I got to ask you, my alma mater, Oklahoma State. They went toe-to-toe with Oklahoma, Bedlam. I've been at that game many, many times, and they were laying an awful lot of points, Oklahoma, last week, and Oklahoma State took them to task. But now Oklahoma State finds himself taking on West Virginia. And again, Mark, they find themselves getting 5.5 points in some books here. Are we just undervaluing Oklahoma State, or are we overvaluing West Virginia here?
Well, you do have a nice little bit of a look ahead here for West Virginia to the Oklahoma game next week. That's the good news for the Cowboys. The bad news is they just come off of that Bedlam loss, a tough loss. Congratulations to Gundy for going for the win. He didn't get it, but the reason I'm bringing that up is that in the few rare times when Oklahoma has met the Sooners in the Bedlam series, and it has not been the last game of the season, they've really struggled, the Cowboys have, after playing Oklahoma. They're just 1-8 to the spread in the regular season in games after taking out Oklahoma in the regular season here. I just don't know if Gundy can get this football team back up here. This is one of the few road favorites I like in West Virginia this week. The question is, can they avoid a look ahead to Oklahoma?
And would one of the, well, I got to tell you that one other game, too. I'm looking at all of these points. You mentioned Boise State, laying all those points tonight, but Clemson, 4 touchdowns, 28.5 going up against Duke on the. I'm just going. It's looking at me, Mark, and it's begging me to take Duke at 28.5 points. Am I crazy with this?
Now, I'll be in line with you on this as well here. It goes back to that as the news tightens for these undefeated football teams. It's the case with Clemson this particular week here. And this is a Duke football team that has played some pretty good football. David Cutcliffe is very rarely outcoached in a football game. He's coming in here on a nice 2-game win streak here, and it's been a long, long time, if you will, since they played Clemson. You got to go back to 2012, the last time they met in the series. So no game film for Duke for Clemson in this game here. I think the pressure is squarely on Clemson here. Too many points to be laying this time of the year.
Yes, Marc Lawrence. Playbook.com is where you got to go, guys. One of the true best, one of the legends in the business. No, he is responsible for paving the way for just about everybody who is a professional sports handicapping and offers a service. Playbook.com is definitely where you have to go and visit him. And I'll give you one more that to me, Mark, is just completely over the top. Too many points. Ohio State, 15.5 points. I think Maryland has finally settled down a little bit. I like their backup quarterback. I don't like laying over 2 touchdowns here in this game if I'm an Ohio State fan. What do you think?
Well, the other side of the equation for the Buckeyes here is the fact that they have Michigan up next week, and they're going to be their biggest game of the season. So you're going to ask Ohio State to step out onto the road and win a football game by more than 2 touchdowns with their biggest game of the season on deck. And I'm still not convinced this Ohio State defense is fixed here. They're really, really struggling defensively. I can only take the points with the Terrapins in this game as well. All
right, we're going to switch quickly to the NFL here. Marc Lawrence, Playbook.com. Mark, Joe Public, okay? Joe Public hates Detroit. Joe Public loves Arizona because they're playing Oakland. You know, you look at a few of these games on the card this week, and you kind of got to look and say, are we fading the right teams? I mean, look at that Detroit game against Carolina. Detroit at home getting 4.5 right now because of all the public money. Are we overvaluing Carolina here a little bit?
Well, we could be because of the Detroit condition in their situation right now. Detroit's not playing very good football right now, and everybody realizes that Carolina is potentially capable of doing just that. I can't buy into Detroit right now, Joe, for their condition here. 3 straight losses in a row to the spread and in the stats as well. And I'm not a big road favorite player here, but this is a home dog in Detroit that I simply don't want any part of this week.
Another home dog is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Different team with Leonard Fournette. Now that he is back, they got Pittsburgh, who seems to be firing on all cylinders right now. But, man, 5.5 points at home in Jacksonville with Leonard Fournette healthy. What do you think?
Well, this looks to be a dangerous spot here for, you would think, Pittsburgh, but they do have the revenge on their mind from last year when Jacksonville sent them home from the playoffs last year. One and done for the Steelers last year because of Jacksonville, so that will be first and foremost on Pittsburgh's mind here. But until Jacksonville can play a complete game, it's difficult making a good case for them. This Pittsburgh, 5 wins and covers in a row, but the key stat to me, Joe, is they've held their last 3 opponents to season-low yards, have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're very quietly playing some really good defense here right now. I would only look Pittsburgh in this football game because of the playoff revenge.
How about the 2 rookie coaches this weekend, Mark, who have just been fantastic? Vrabel and Reich. You've got the Titans taking on Indianapolis in that division. But honest, are these 2 guys, could you look at them and go, possibly rookie coaches of the year here with what they've done?
I don't know. Well, maybe rookie coaches of the year. I don't think they're anywhere near any kind of coach of the year talk. But, the bottom line here is Frank Reich's success has come with Andrew Luck's health. He was going to go as far as Andrew Luck was going to carry him, and obviously Luck is a healthy man right now. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about the Colts this week is Andrew Luck has just set an NFL record by throwing for 300 or more yards 6 consecutive games in a row. I like fading teams or players that are off record-setting performances. They get a little bit fat-headed, if you will. The press is constantly reminding them of what they've just done, so forth and whatnot. And you've got Tennessee playing some really good football right now. Marcus Mariota has won and covered 6 straight division games in a row coming into this game. They're pretty confident after knocking off New England last week. I'm going to take the points here with Tennessee in this game as well.
All right, and finally, the game of the century, and I'm so thankful that this game is not going to be on the neutral field, which wasn't much of a neutral field. You probably would have been better off playing it at a parking lot with how bad that field was in Mexico City. But it's heading to L.A. Rams are home. Chiefs. Now, neutral field, this opened up +1 for Kansas City. Now that it's moved to L.A., they're up to 3.5. Kansas City getting 3.5. Should this be a pick'em game across the board regardless of field?
Well, I'm with you. I think this move is a little bit too strong here. This is still a Kansas City football team that's lost only 1 game this year. And to me, the bottom line is Andy Reid is hands down the best NFL football coach on the road. In his career, 96-56 against the point spread in all road games. He knows how to win road football games here. And look at the other side of the equation here, Joe. The L.A. Rams, yes, they're 9-1 on the season here as well coming in. But this football team has lost to the spread 3 straight games in a row here. They're underperforming as far as Vegas is concerned here. I think the Rams are going a little bit backwards here. This is a big spotlight game for both teams. Whoever scores last probably wins this game, and with that, I'll take the Chiefs plus the 3.5.
I want to get your thoughts, too, before we let you go. Marc Lawrence joining us, Playbook.com. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, and I think it came to fruition last night. Don't sleep on the Seattle Seahawks. I just think Russell Wilson and that offensive line, they are finally protecting him. I think Russell's playing some of his best football, and they're fighting for that final wild card playoff spot. But I really like Seattle's chances moving forward. I think they can do some damage. Would you consider them, I wouldn't say a long shot, but would you consider them a sleeper moving forward in the playoff picture?
I would for sure. Number one, they have a strong home field, which they'll protect going out. Number two, you look at their games remaining here, 3 of them are very winnable games. San Francisco twice, and the Arizona Cardinals. Those will be wins, probably at least 2 of the 3 wins here. And I'm with you. I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan. I think this guy is as underrated and as good a quarterback as there is in the National Football League. I've got to put Seattle on my much watch list here as well. I think this football team could be the real sleeper.
Did Mike McCarthy seal his fate last night?
Well, he may have. Here's the bottom line to that whole thing, Joe. You're talking about a Green Bay Packer team with a losing record who has had Aaron Rodgers start every game this season for them. And there's no excuse for that. And that call was obviously not throwing the flag and questioning the call is what's going to end up, I think, sealing his fate here. But the bottom line is Green Bay needs to shuffle the cards. They need to make a roster change here from the top on down, and it could end up being Mike McCarthy's head.
Yeah, and probably it's got nobody to blame but himself. He is the legend himself, Marc Lawrence, playbook.com. Make sure you guys check him out. Also, one of the best Twitter follows out there. Make sure you head over to there at Marc Lawrence. Mark, I appreciate your time as always, my friend. Come back anytime. I look forward to doing it again. Good luck this weekend, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, my pleasure as always, Joe. I look forward to it. We'll look forward to catching up with you down the road before the playoffs, and have a nice Thanksgiving as well.
You got it. Marc Lawrence, playbook.com. Yeah, you guys got to make sure that you head over there. That is truly one of the best in the business, one of the original 40-some-odd years. That is exactly the kind of handicapper that you get on this show. We only bring you the best. That is what we pride ourselves with here, and there are none better than Marc Lawrence. Ralph Michaels we had yesterday. We've been loaded all week long with guys. Captain Capping, of course, he joins us each and every Wednesday. We are loaded here on the show, and we are so glad. And thank you, Chris Wynn, joining us via Periscope. Mark is money, man. I mean, the guy is awesome. And Chris, welcome in. You're new here. Don't pay any attention to the other lunatics that are in the chat room over there. But welcome in, man. Yeah, guys like him and Ralph that comes on. We get the Prez that comes on. We try to separate the good from the crap in the that's on social media. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you how much garbage there is out there. People that claim to be 98% winners. Yeah, shoot me now. You won't find those guys on here. It's guys like Marc Lawrence that we bring on here, guys that can bring it, and guys who can speak intelligently and from experience, guys with transparency. Okay, anybody, if you were to Google Marc Lawrence, I promise you'd be able to find every single one of his records from since about 1970 or so. We're not looking for guys that have something to hide. We want to bring only the best of the best here on this show for you guys, for the sports better. It's all about being able to provide you guys so you don't have to try and navigate through a sea of crap that is on social media right now. Everyone's a handicapper. Everyone's got a service. Everyone's got a package. But the reality is most of those guys are less than honest, very unscrupulous, unfortunately. So we're doing our best, our part, to try to bring you guys the best of the best, and there is none better than Marc Lawrence, one of the original in the business. Looking in the chat room here today, I asked you guys, the question on the table is, who's your guaranteed winner over there? Chris, who is your guaranteed winner this weekend? Forget about spreads. Forget about anything else. I want to know, who is it that you're guaranteeing to win? I know that he still came over, believes that the Saints are unstoppable, and there is no way Philadelphia is going to be able to hold serve there and be able to hang with the New Orleans Saints. I kind of agree with him there. And unfortunately, I think we also, I believe Mr. Skunt doesn't think that Andy Reid is going to hold on to enough timeouts to be effective. Andy Reid has had a history of getting to the big game and unfortunately not necessarily delivering. It's kind of been a thing of Andy Reid's over the years, but I do believe that Andy Reid might be able to get this done, if for no other reason, and that's what Mark was talking about, if for no other reason than I think it got overvalued here, man. 3.5 points. I mean, they were getting a point, Kansas City, on a neutral field in Mexico City. And now that it's in L.A., all of a sudden, what? It's a 3.5? So I think if you can get 3, if you can get 3.5, and I think this might be bet down to under 3 before kickoff. So jump at uwager.eu if you guys get a chance. It's still 3.5 there. Jump all over 3.5. I got no problem giving Patrick Mahomes and those weapons. And I know the defense isn't great, but I definitely think they can match point for point, and I do think it's going to come down to the final possession. I agree with Mark in that game. Take the 3.5 points if you guys can get it, man. I think that's the way to look at that game. All right, coming up, we're not done yet. We still got to get you. We still got to get you all caught up with our play of the day, our TrendyBets play of the day. If you guys are new to the show, TrendyBets.com is another one of these services that we have vetted. These are the real deal. These guys, fantastic group of guys, transparent, honest, and they know what they're doing. They nailed their free play of the day yesterday on the show. They gave you Houston and Golden State. They gave you the under at 220. That was a money pick, by the way. There was a lot of people who didn't agree with that, but that was a money pick. They came in way under the under. They have another game for you tonight. Another TrendyBets.com play of the day is coming your way. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go ahead and give you that. Plus, our horse handicapper, Benny the Boot, he's going to drop by. He's got a Saturday play of the day in horse racing at Aqueduct that you guys are going to want to know about too. We keep this money train rolling here on a Friday. It's all about getting you the best information to make the smartest sports betting decisions, and we like having a little bit of fun along the way. So don't go nowhere, all right? We got a major horse tip from Heesil too. Apparently he's got something he wants to say. We're going to check in with him. But your TrendyBets NBA play of the day, plus an amazing offer from them, is coming next. All right, but first we just got to thank a few more of our sponsors here, including low-cost airlines. If you guys are planning on flying away for the holidays, mostly because you want to get the hell away from your relatives, and you're like, you know what, I can't stand any of these people, and maybe you have to go home and make an appearance, but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg doing it, nobody better than low-cost airlines. They will find you the cheapest airfare on the market. All you have to do is call them at 800-761-1427. Or maybe you're like, you know what? Screw everybody. I hate you all. I know you're my family, but I don't like you. I'm going on a cruise. Superior Cruise and Travel. That's who you guys want to call. 800-901-5536. And as long as you're going to come here to South Florida and leave from the Port of Miami or the Port of Fort Lauderdale, stop by. I'll meet you. We'll have a drink. We'll have a few laughs. It'll be a good time. But call Superior Cruise and Travel at 800-901-5536. Those guys, honestly, the response that we have gotten, I know there's a few of our viewers here that have actually contacted them, and they said they got deals like they've never seen before. That's why we love Superior Cruise and Travel. And, of course, our friends at Miami Acura. Do not buy another car. Do not sit there and go shopping without first trying Miami Acura. Hit them up. All right, just go to MiamiAcura.com and do yourself a favor and go take a test drive to that brand new RDX 2019 completely redesigned RDX. Christian coming in. I do believe he's also got a guaranteed play of the day joining us on Periscope. We'll get to him. We'll give you that TrendyBets.com NBA play of the day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in exactly 90 seconds. It's the Joe Raineri Show.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now. and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now here's your host, Joe Raineri.
Welcome in, guys. Happy Friday to you. Want to thank Marc Lawrence, the legend himself, for stopping by, hanging out with us here today. If you guys missed any of the interview, do yourself a favor. As soon as we're done here, and this is the greatest thing about live streaming and why we do it, is in case you missed anything, it's available for you as soon as we're done, and we broadcast across all of the platforms. We are on Periscope, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we are on Twitch, and we have a whole bunch of you in each one of these platforms that we want to recognize and thank you guys very much for making us a part of your day. We certainly appreciate it. What we're trying to do here on the show is bring you the best of the best. We're trying to bring you guys that you can trust when it comes to sports handicapping, not some dude that's got, 14 different Twitter accounts and, opened them up yesterday and he's telling you how they're 95% winners. So we only bring the best of the best here on the show, so we can all benefit by taking that kind of knowledge and, of course, using it to make smart betting, investing decisions. That's what this is all about. So I make a promise to you, and my pledge to you is if I bring guys on this show, there's only one reason why I'm bringing it on. It's because I trust them with my money. I have vetted them, and they are known to be the good guys in an industry that unfortunately sees a lot of crap, and sometimes it's hard to navigate, and we do our best to bring you the best of the best. So I do want to address Hesil77, who says he's got a horse tip on only one on wheels. And this is interesting. Hesil joins us. He's one of the regular lunatics that joins us in YouTube, on YouTube, rather, at the Joe Raineri Show. He joins us there each and every day. He's got a major horse tip, but only one on wheels. I didn't realize this. He works in a shop, I guess, where they build bikes. And let me see if I get this correct. He is saying they're called UFO, these bikes. And I don't know. What is the manufacturer? He'll tell us that. I guess the bikes are called UFO, and he is saying that if you ever see one of these pull up next to you, or if they are planning on racing anybody, those are the bikes to bet on. They're called UFOs. So don't forget, UFO, if you are a bike rider yourself, do not under any circumstances try to battle one of these guys on a UFO bike. He still says they will never, ever in a million years, you'll never be able to compete. Also, Christian via Periscope joining us saying, I don't see the Eagles slowing down, the Saints offense. You want to talk about a team that is humming. And it's interesting. They're doing it very quietly. A lot of people have been so focused on the Chiefs and on the Rams, and yet here the Saints are quietly dominating team after team. They've gotten healthier. They've gotten better on defense. Drew Brees, what they do with their backup quarterback, what they do with Drew Hill there, and his ability to be able to come into that game, which is what the Baltimore Ravens have the Ravens have trying to emulate that with the Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson combination. But when you have Marty Morningwig as an offensive coordinator, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You're screwed. There's absolutely no way that Marty Morningwig is going to be able to compete with Sean Payton and what he's doing over there. Marty Morningwig is not the greatest of, and Jet fans will tell you, not the greatest of offensive minds. But they're trying to do that. They're trying to emulate that in Baltimore, but they can't. It looks like, I think Lamar Jackson was back at practice today. The game was actually taken off the board because Flacco was hurt, and Lamar Jackson hasn't been practicing. He's been down with the flu or some sort of cold or something. I guess he was at camp today is what they're saying, but it's still not on the board because we don't know who the quarterback in that game is going to be. But let's face it. I mean, they are firing on all cylinders right now. Special teams, defense, and Drew Brees and that offense. Alvin Kamara. You got Ingram in there now. Whether he's on steroids or not, it really doesn't make a damn bit of difference. This team is humming. Oh, man, Villaman joining us. What is that? An ex-Lion should never be an offensive coordinator. Amen. Thank you very much with Marty Morningwig. Really, man? Like, seriously. Should never be an offensive coordinator. So true about that. Bet against the Eagles and Andy Reid Chiefs. Thank you very much, Heath for coming in there. Saints are also protecting Brees and Kamara. Kamara's lethal. Brees is good. You add that combination of you got that combination of Ingram in there, that bull that can come in there, and then Kamara, believe it or not, is a change of pace back. And look at that. When you have a guy like Alvin Kamara that can be a change of pace back, Ingram is going to run down your throat, but Kamara is going to be shifty. They're going to run slants all day with him. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Then you got to deal with Michael Thomas. Once they figure out what to do with Traquan Smith on the outside too, the rookie, this team is just... There's too many weapons, and we're spending all of this time talking on you. Love you, Bleed CA Sports. Love you, Villa, man. Thank you very much for stopping by. Take the Browns. I don't know where I'm taking them, but can I tell you also, has Greg Williams not put himself into the conversation for possible, depending on what he does with the rest of the year with this team? But if you're the Browns, do you not at least interview this guy at the end of the year with how they've been playing? Could it be that Greg Williams is the guy that takes over this Browns team? Can you guys even think that or fathom that? But you can't argue with results. And let's face it, so far they've figured out how to use Baker Mayfield. They have figured out how to play better defense. Greg Williams is actually lit a fire under this team's ass. Whether they can keep it going, we shall see. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case. But the interesting part about the New Orleans Saints is that nobody is talking about them. That's the best part about this. They're doing this without being the national spotlight being on them because everybody's focused on Patrick Mahomes and, Sean McVay and what these guys are doing, and it's the Rams, and it's, everyone had this game circled on a calendar for the last 7 weeks. That's all anybody could talk about, and quietly the Saints have become the best team in the NFL. And outside of Cajun country there, not a lot of conversation on a national landscape regarding New Orleans Saints. But I do think once they dismantle, and I do think they're going to dismantle the champion Philadelphia Eagles, once they end up doing that, there are going to be a lot of people talking about them because there's going to have to be a team, and I do think the team that's going to end up walking away with a loss is going to be the Rams. And I do think that Kansas City not only covers at 3.5, but I would probably put a couple of Fazools down on the money line as well, because I do think they're going to be able to win that game straight out. All right, let's do this. Let's bring in our good friends from TrendyBets.com. Only the best for you guys. That's what we promise you here. TrendyBets.com, a place you got to go. Their systems, their packages, some of the best and most affordable. And right now, at TrendyBets.com. You guys head over there, all right? And all you have to do is put in this code, JRS25. That's right, Joe Raineri Show 25, JRS25, and you got yourself 25% off of any purchase that you have. Their packages are stupidly affordable. And I'm telling you, we're all looking for quality information from quality services. This is one of them. TrendyBets.com, guys. Head over there. Check it out. What a great website. They do have some free plays available for you, too. Hit their articles. Read their articles. Understand exactly where they're coming from. They nailed yesterday's play of the day, and I got a feeling they're going to nail today's free play of the day. But make sure you guys use the code JRS25. Get yourself 25% off any purchase. You can buy a day, you can buy 3 days, 7 days, a month, whatever it is that you want. Head over there, use the code, give them a shot. I promise you guys, the guys at TrendyBets.com, they're the real deal, and they will take care of you. TrendyBets.com, JRS25. Let's see what their play of the day is today. Here it is, their free NBA pay today. Trailblazers, Timberwolves, Portland minus Portland minus 1.5 total on this particular game. We are looking at 222.5. Here's what they got. Trailblazers 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 against following an ATS loss. Trailblazers 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games versus a team with a losing straight-up record. Timberwolves 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games versus a team with a winning straight-up record. Trailblazers 20-6 ATS in their last 26 meetings in Minnesota. The pick: take Portland Trailblazers minus 1.5 and run. That is your free TrendyBets.com NBA play of the day. That is right. Portland minus 1.5. Everyone thinks that everything's, they got rid of Jimmy Butler. Everything is so good in Minnesota. Well, according to our friends at TrendyBets.com, maybe this is not the time to take them seriously. Maybe this is the time to fade the Timberwolves. Play the Trailblazers minus 1.5. That is your TrendyBets.com play of the day. And we want to thank those guys so very much for being a part of the show and, of course, stopping by here. You will get a TrendyBets.com free play of the day every Monday through Friday on the show. And they love their NBA over there. They should, because they do a fantastic job with it. Now we've got some horse racing. Right? How many of you guys are like the ponies? If you do, we've got a guy coming up for you that you're going to want to hear from. Benny the Boot. He is, without a doubt, our resident horse handicapper. Been doing it for 432 years. I think he actually invented horse racing. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But he is known in parts of this world that are unspeakable. He has been around. He's been a former horse owner. He's been a former horse trainer. This guy knows his stuff. He's also the resident horse handicapper here locally at the Palm Beach Kennel Club for now. He's probably going to have to switch to Gulfstream after this. But he's got a play each and every Saturday that he likes to share with you guys here on the show. He nailed it last week. He had a play for you in the 4th race at Gulfstream. You guys cashed it. He also made you guys an awful lot of money at the Breeders' Cup when he gave you Gunnevera. Okay, the 30-1 shot that finished second, that made a lot of you a lot of money, and he nailed it. Now, he's going to be joining us here in just a minute. He's going to join us via the Miami Acura hotline because he's got a Saturday play of the day that he wants to tell you all about, and we're going to do that. But speaking of Miami Acura, just a quick reminder. Make sure if you guys are in the market for a brand new car or certified pre-owned vehicle, Miami Acura is the place to go. South Dixie Highway into 305, or call them at 855-564-4669, or visit them at Miami Acura. That's right, MiamiAcura.com. That's the place to go. All right, guys, as we keep the money train rolling here, joining us via the Miami Acura hotline is the Palm Beach simulcast handicapper from the Kennel Club. It is Benny the Boot. He is host of the backstretch, heard Fridays locally here in South Florida. And Benny, are you still recovering from the Breeders' Cup here? Are you ready to rock and roll? Are there some horses to be able to pick here that we can make some money on?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Joe. I had a lot of guys that after I gave them all Gunnevero as a long shot, the 30-1 long shot that ran second, they're bugging me to give them a pick of the week. So that's what I've been doing. Last week I had a winner, and this week I'm trying to have a second winner.
All right.
But you're right. Everybody's in withdrawal since the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right. You did right here on this show, as a matter of fact. You were the one that pulled out Gunnevera, and we heard from a whole bunch of viewers that just they weren't even thinking Gunnevera, but they ended up putting Gunnevera in and won all sorts of triples and exotics and all sorts of good stuff there for a big payday. Now, last week, you gave us your Saturday play of the day, which was a winner, I believe, at Gulfstream Park. So talk to us about this Saturday, tomorrow, who you like, what you got.
Well, tomorrow is the 59th running of the Red Smith. It's for 3-year-olds and up. It's at 1 mile and 3/8 on the Big A inner turf. We'll see Bigger Picture looking to win after capturing last year's 2016 edition. So he's kind of the defending champ. He registered 94-plus bias figures in all 8 of his previous starts this year, including a 99 in the runner-up effort in the Grade 3 Kentucky Oaks and against Arlo on September 8th. Now, he'll be ridden by jockey Manny Franco, and he'll be leaving out of post 8. And keep in mind, he does okay on good and soft turf, and he's 3 for 9 at the distance. And tomorrow is expected to be kind of off weather because in New England they've been having some awful snow and all kinds of crazy stuff. So Bigger Picture stablemate Siglio is going to return also to State Company after defeating Allowance Company by 1 1/4 on October 19th at Keeneland, and he'll get Hall of Fame jockey Johnny Velasquez to ride from post 5. The morning line favorite is Zulu Alpha. He started his career in Ireland and has moved here, and he's won 3 of his last 4. Luis Saez will ride from post 3, and he also likes the off-going or soft-going if it's on the turf. The second choice in this race is Cole Provisions from post 6. He's 7 of 8 in the money at this distance, and it's a combination of Chad Brown and Arad Ortiz, and those 2 guys win a lot of races together. Big Ben, he's going to be looking to earn his first win in more than a year, and he drew post 9. I don't think he's got a shot, but whatever. Now, trainer Todd Fletcher, he brings 2 interesting horses. He's got Gallopy Americano from post 4, who won against a field of 17 contenders back in November of 17 in his native Brazil. He ran 5th in her first appearance since arriving in the United States against optional claimants at Belmont. It's fun is kind of climbing the ladder, though. I think he might be a little bit over his head. We'll see. The other Fletcher horse is Village King. He's a native from Argentina before arriving in New York. He ran 4th in his debut on September 14th at Churchill, and then he had a 3rd-place finish at Belmont. He's going to make his first U.S. appearance drawing post 2 with Hall of Famer Javier Castellano aboard. And Inspector Lindsay's from post 7. He's going to enter off a 3rd-place finisher in the Knickerbocker at Belmont and recorded a 99 bias for the 2nd straight race. He's got a really good shot. He's been trying the distance, though, for the first time. He's going to get Jose Lescano in the irons. And population, he was 2nd in 1 1/4 point of entry, so we know he can get the distance back in the soft Belmont turf. He hasn't won, though, since August of 2017 at Arlington. George Vargas will be in the irons from post 10, and rounding out the field is Theodoro, making his first start from post 1. Red Knight, trained by Hall of Famer Bill Mott, is also eligible, and the rest of the 16-horse field is Exalted, Adulator, and Control Group. They're all entered for the main track only. Now, my pick in this race is going to be Big Picture. He's 5-1 morning line. He's not going to be the favorite. Got the experience. Can run on and off track, and that's my Saturday pick of the day.
I'm going to go with number 8 in this race.
Right. That's the 8th race at Aqueduct.
8th race at Aqueduct, number 8. Do you like anybody with him in an exotics, or you just like him on top?
No, I like him on top. That's
Okay.
the way I'm going.
All right, there you go. 8th race, Aqueduct
All right.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Number 8. 8th race in Aqueduct tomorrow. Number 8, he is Benny the Boot, host of the Backstretch Fridays, 6 o'clock here. You can hear him locally here in South Florida, but make sure you guys follow him on Twitter, at Benny_Boot. He's got all sorts of free plays that you can check out during the week as well. Benny, always a pleasure to talk to you, man. May the best horse win.
See you next week, Joe.
You got it. Make sure you check him out, guys. Benny_Boots on Twitter, and that is your Saturday play of the day. That's at Benny_Boot. Make sure that you guys check him out on Twitter. Always a pleasure. He joins us each and every Friday. We dabble a little bit in bringing you guys just the best information possible, even when it comes to the ponies. So race 8, number 8 tomorrow at Aqueduct. Make sure you guys circle it down, check it out, make a few bucks. Also want to, Villain Man, I do believe Mr. Villain Man is joining us via, what is that? Periscope is joining us. And this is another great follow, guys. If you want to have some fun on Twitter, make sure that you guys follow Bleed CA Sports, all right? Bleed CA Sports. This guy is just a machine when it comes to trends and when it comes to numbers, and he's got a little trend he's thrown up here for us. Chiefs lead NFL with 15 TD drives, less 5 plays or less. So 5 plays or less, 15 TD drives, and Rams, I think, have, 14 that you're putting? So they're right there behind them. The over in this game, I do believe 63.5, unless it's gone up from there, 63.5. It's got to go over, right? I mean, aren't we looking like at a 40-38 game, 42-39? Isn't that what we're looking at here, honestly? So it's the first time. We talked to Ralph Michaels yesterday, wagertalk.com. We had talked to Ralph yesterday, and he said this is the largest over-under in over 30 years in the NFL. I mean, at that point, listen, if it only happens once every 30 years and it's a damn Halley's Comet, then you gotta bet it, right? I mean, you gotta absolutely bet it. I'm not sure. That might go up to 65, 66 before it's all said and done, depending on how much of the how much money is going to come in, how much public money is going to come in. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that works. I do have a play myself for you here tonight, guys. We love our underdogs on the Joe Raineri Show. I know I do. And I think even Bleed CA Sports will agree with me here. Boise State screwed me last week. I had Fresno State, and Boise State ended up just screwing me. I mean, they actually didn't. Fresno State screwed themselves. But anyway, I was on the wrong side of that ticket. And here we are, Boise State minus 21, 9 o'clock game tonight, CBS Sports Network. It was a huge win for them at home. That was the first time they were home underdogs in about 18, 19 years, I think it was, since 2000. Fresno State had come in there laying 2.5, road favorite. Boise State is never. It doesn't happen. Boise State is not an underdog at home, but they found themselves as an underdog at home against Fresno State. They took care of business. No way around it. They took care of business. So they have received a lot of hype. And I mean a lot of hype, and a lot of people are starting to say, oh, here we go again, no respect, Boise State, these guys are one of the best in the country, but nobody, it's the UCF trend, UCF and Boise State, they're like the redheaded stepchildren, nobody gives us any respect, the whole Rodney Dangerfield thing, but listen, it's true, Boise State has been competitive year after year after year after year after year, it's a quality program, UCF, it's a quality program, it's also a spot for them to be a total letdown. Laying 21 against New Mexico tonight. This is a good spot for New Mexico, which, by the way, has been pretty damn decent this year, if not recently, all year long. And I think they're going to have their biggest and their loudest and their most passionate home crowd of the season tonight as Boise State comes to town. I don't know that they are going to win. I certainly wouldn't be dabbling in the money line here. But you know what? Boise State, not the juggernaut that we have seen in past. This is a huge letdown spot. I can't lay 3 touchdowns. I think the Lobos will keep it close. So my underdog of the night is definitely going to be taking the 21 points and playing New Mexico there. I just don't see how Boise State is going to run away with this game coming off of that very emotional victory over Fresno State last week. I do think I'm going to fade Boise State tonight, take the 21 points, and run with it. And if you are just joining us here tonight, if you're just getting out of work, getting ready for a Friday, a full slate of cards going on over the weekend. NCAA basketball. You've got NCAA football, one of the games tonight. Also, SMU is on the card tonight. I do believe, do we have a play on SMU tonight? Let me double check this. Do we have a play on SMU? I do believe I think we do have a play on yes, we do. Yeah, I do believe we do. We have we got a couple of trends for you in the SMU game tonight. Memphis laying 7 tonight on the road at SMU. So SMU is going to be a home underdog getting 7. SMU's defense is 48th in the country in explosiveness, and they're 75th against the rush. So this game should have plenty of points scored. 73.5 is the over-under. All right, keep that in mind. 73.5 is the over-under. SMU has quietly been getting better week after week after week. And they got blown out, I think, their first 5 or 6 games of the season, SMU was atrocious. They weren't good at all, but they've managed to be able to put it together over the last couple of weeks. And I think they're 3-1 straight up and against the spread over the last 4 games. So they've been playing better. And Memphis... SMU's won consecutive games, but now being a 7-point underdog at home, teams on a winning streak of at least 2 games listed as underdogs of 7 or more points at home have gone. 101, 80, and 2, 56 ATS. So that's the big number right there. That's what Bleed CA Sports will point to. SMU is 1 consecutive games. 7, 8-point underdog right now currently, depending on the book. uwager.eu, I think, has them at 7.5. And since 2005, teams on a winning streak of at least 2 games and are underdogs of 7 or more at home, 56% ATS. That's what they find themselves here. I don't have a problem. You know, those key numbers we're always looking for, 3 and 7. You can get 7.5. You can get 8 before kickoff. It opened up at 9. And so there had to be an awful lot of money that came in over there. But I like the 7, 7.5, even 8 points if you can get it. I do like SMU at home to keep it close. And that Dallas community over there, it's a pretty rockin' place. So I would go SMU, take the points. I also like getting 21 points tonight, New Mexico. I'm going with the home dogs in both of these places. Give me New Mexico. Give me SMU. Cash those damn tickets, people. Okay? Cash them tonight. Have some fun. And make sure if you missed any of the interview earlier today with the legend Marc Lawrence, make sure you catch those. We will have, of course, here on the page on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow. We ask that you please follow if you haven't done so. Follow us at Joe Raineri here on Twitter and Periscope. And, of course, on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube at Joe Raineri Show. We always go ahead and break them down game by game, and we post those picks for you. Makes it a little bit easier for you guys to find. But if you want to catch one of the best interviews that we've ever had here on the show, Marc Lawrence, we talked a lot of the feature games coming up, not only tonight, but tomorrow and Sunday in the NFL. If you want to catch some really good reasoning, some great analytic point of view, listen to the full interview with Marc Lawrence. Some great stuff. It's available here as soon as we are done. Want to thank all of you lunatics that join us each and every day in the chat rooms, and Hesil and Count Dracula on Twitch, who steals all the corporate time, kind of mails it in after 4 o'clock, steals as much corporate time as humanly possible watching us, and we love you for that. Thank you guys very much. Bleed CA Sports, good to see you. Chris Wynn, also on Periscope. Brother, thank you very much for making us a part of your day. The only thing we ask here, guys, please subscribe, like, It's all about, and when it comes to the live streaming thing here, it's the way we get rated is by the engagement. So the more that you hit that subscribe button, the more that you hit that retweet button or that like button or the thumbs up button, or hell, even if you hate my ass, the thumbs down button, we would certainly appreciate it. It would mean the world to us. We have a whole nether lineup of amazing, and I mean amazing, handicappers that are going to join us next week on the show. Ralph Michaels, he'll join us Wednesday, usually joins us on Thursday, but he's going to join us Wednesday so we can handicap some of those Thanksgiving games. It's Thanksgiving week. I'm sure some of you are going to be traveling or getting your homes ready for the relatives and for people to come in to see you. Either way, I want you guys to have an amazing week. We'll be back on Monday. We might even be popping in tomorrow with another 2-minute drill with the man himself, the Jersey Kid Picks, at Jersey Kid Picks. We might be dropping in tomorrow for a quick 2-minute drill. There is a rumor that he has got some fire picks for you this weekend, and he's got a message and he wants to talk to you. So we might go live with Jersey Kid Picks tomorrow for another edition of the 2-minute drill. Make sure that you subscribe here on Periscope and Twitter to get notified. YouTube, you guys know how it works. Facebook, just like us, follow us. You'll get notified every time that we go live. Peter, also a pleasure to see you. Want to thank Benny the Boot for coming by. That was number 8, okay? 8th race. Number 8, Aqueduct, tomorrow. That is your Benny the Boot Saturday horseplay of the day. And, of course, our NBA play of the day brought to you by TrendyBets.com. And TrendyBets.com, the code JRS25. You go to TrendyBets.com right now. Any package, anything you purchase right there from TrendyBets.com, 25% off. Use the code JRS25. Whether it be a pick, 1 day, 3 days, 7 days. Go check out their packages, guys, and 25% off. Give them a shot. I'm telling you, they nailed their play of the day yesterday, and I got a feeling they're going to nail their NBA play of the day today. Here it is from TrendyBets.com if you're just joining us. Trailblazers, Timberwolves, -1.5 for Portland, total 222.5. They want the Trailblazers, -1.5. You can see the trends there. The trends point in one direction, boy. That being the Trailblazers, -1.5. And that is your TrendyBets.com play of the day. You guys have been great again. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your day. Come back and join us on Monday. Get notified when we go live. Jersey Kid Picks, 2-minute drill tomorrow. Ralph Michaels next week. Captain Capping next week. We also have a full slate of new cappers that you're going to be introduced to, just like our friends here at TrendyBets.com. All sorts of great stuff and announcements coming your way. So hang out with us, damn it. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck tonight, and may the football end up in the end zone in your favor. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great night. Come back and join us on Monday. We love you. Thanks so very much.